for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Hello there, welcome to the Flashing Blade podcast. I'm Siobhan. Can you hear them telling lies? I've completely fucked up that line. It's been a bit of a rush to get here this evening. Do you want me to try that again?
No.
Come on, take 4. Click.
It's all her fault.
Can you hear them? Talking about us telling lies, well, that's a surprise. There we go, I said it.
Tell me lies.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Let's meet the plucky girl assistants. To this side of me, he's been raised up. It's the Brian.
Hello.
And what do we say whenever we see a Brian? Still American?
I'm Martian. I defected a long time
I
ago.
can tell you,
there you
you're
go.
at war with Sinister then. You don't get a choice about this. And down there, the murder hobo, quite frankly, he must never ask anybody who outranks him, and in this podcast, that's me, if they've been smoking crack.
Have you been smoking crack?
No. And you
Are
may
you
not
sure?
call me immoral, untrustworthy, lying slime, even if you're right.
I'm also not allowed to sell them back their souls after
What about-
having taken them via voodoo by witch doll, little witch doctor dolls.
So, yeah, that's the quantum event known as Spanky. Oh, little way.
On the deli products, he may not ask you if you want the extended warranty with that.
That's correct. When you buy your fried chicken, I'm not allowed to sell you a extended warranty on your chicken or your burgers or anything else of a food type nature.
I'm just trying to think if that could possibly work. Some sort of scheme.
I have no idea. I
Fire
can't even
insurance
see
on
you.
cigars, right?
You can't hear me, did you say?
No, I can't see you
Really? Why not?
because I am in between prescription glasses right now.
Oh!
I can't see shit.
Oh, enjoy tonight, my friend. You haven't got the
Basically, I
horror
have to go
staring
like
at you.
this
Don't. Yeah, it's you don't want the
to
horror.
see, and yeah, But the good news is,
Yes.
I went to the eye place yesterday.
That might be the opticians then.
Lens crafters. So yes, a little bit of both.
Right.
So I have 2 pairs of glasses coming in, one
Right.
for regular stuff and one for sunglasses.
And one with fries.
So
Yeah.
yes,
Well, this is good. How soon before you get them?
I have no idea. They'll
Good.
call.
That's nice. Your week been any good?
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Apart from the whole eye thing, has your week been any good?
No, it's been the shittiest week of shitty.
Really? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so very sorry.
I
I'm
am, but
sorry.
I'm not. I am, but I'm not.
You can tell me afterwards, all right?
Perhaps.
Well, yeah, fair enough. And Spanky, how's your week been?
I do have an announcement.
Sorry, Spanky, you're not allowed to tell us.
I
That's
have an
okay.
announcement.
Yes.
Today goes down in the annals of history as my roommate has survived
Yes.
to be this old. It is her birthday.
She's
Oh,
leveled
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah.
Shall not tell the age.
Wise. Very, very wise.
I
Very,
would
very
like
wise.
to wake up in the morning, possibly.
What?
But yes,
Then we wish Jess a
Very,
very,
very
happy
happy
womb
thingy.
Bastille Day.
Yes.
That's right. Thank you on your Bastille Day for your mom's womb. Good, congratulations. You broke free. Good girl.
last
And you're
night
still free of it?
I got her a entire cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory.
Ooh, good man. Smart.
It's lemon raspberry. It is delicious.
Oh,
Sounds it.
okay. That
Yeah.
sounds just horribly disgusting, but I'm glad
Spanky,
you enjoyed it. Yeah.
road trip. There's cheesecake up for grabs.
We have a Cheesecake Factory, and no, in Big Bang Theory, it's not that cheap. It
Sure.
is. They
I'm
lied.
sure.
It's not cheap at all.
Spanky, you've got a little bit of heavy weather coming your way, just so you know.
Oh, we got more than that. Yeah. Tomorrow's gonna be all day thunderstorms. It's hot as hell right now.
Yeah,
too,
there's
so,
nothing. You're going to get some hail, some large
It
hail.
wouldn't be. Well, we might.
I
but-
don't
and
think
you
you're
know,
gonna
it
get
wouldn't be
spin up.
so bad The problem is that being the South, the humidity is never less than like 97%. So even at 80 degrees, you sweat and sweat and sweat, but the sweat doesn't evaporate, so you never cool down. And that's the problem with humidity. And so, like, yeah, it'll kill you. Munch out.
Brian,
Ugh.
you don't get any weather.
No, we're always fine.
Yeah.
We get weather next week. There's going to be some rain, but that's about it.
I've just been checking up because it's becoming an obsession.
I'm not worried about weather. Weather doesn't affect
I'm
me.
worried about my obsession with it.
The only
We had
thing I get
thunderstorms
is
over
snow.
here. I'm there on the radar
honestly-
looking at it.
Yeah, the only thing we get is snow, so don't worry until like after December.
And yeah, you should have had a cold snap recently, but something's changed.
Yeah, it was like 60 degrees. Oh no.
I don't know.
I
if
had
that,
to put
that
on
is a lot of
jeans.
money. Okay, right. My week's been interesting.
How's it now?
It has. I screwed up everything on Monday. Oh, by the way, our apologies for not being here last week.
Yes. We're very apologetic.
We were down to two hosts, so Spanky and I said, fuck that, and put our feet up.
Yeah, I decided to take the day off.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not surprised. I don't blame you. Quite frankly, you were so, should we just say, cheesed off that it might have done you some good. At the same time,
Saturday
actually being on here might have done you
pissed
good.
me off.
Yeah, I know. I felt so sorry for you. All the
It's
hard
one
work.
thing when you expect things to work right and they don't. But I have been testing.
I've been watching,
I have been
yes.
testing everything. Yes, they are working. I'm just waiting for one more mod.
We're talking about the RPG, by the way.
Yeah, one more mod to get done, and then we can do a take two on that entire situation,
Okay.
which I reworked so that you guys have no idea what's going on.
Excellent. I thoroughly approve. Excellent stuff. Yeah, what happened this week? Well, I muddled up everything and missed 3 appointments on Monday.
What appointments?
One, I think, was with the nurse. One was with a mental health thing phoning me. And one, well, it wasn't an appointment. They just told me they were going to turn up in the morning. And fuck that. You know, you want to see me, make an appointment. You don't just turn up. And so there's those 3. And Lilibet was over this week. Well, she's over for next week as well.
And she's not on the show tonight? Come
No,
on.
she's-
She could have been live in your living room.
No, she's not down here now. She's up in Ashby de la Zouche. That's a silly,
Right.
silly name. But we spend Thursday together, just going to the bloody cafe. But we did spend some time outside.
Did she bring the baseball bat?
Didn't need to.
There you go. Yeah. Too bad.
And,
It's not about need.
it's,
Yeah. It's never about need.
but she came out into my garden, and it was lovely to have someone. It was lovely to have a visitor. And
Nice.
just the very fact that she turned up got me to actually build and measure the TARDIS control room so that I can get baseboard and the perspex.
Excellent.
It's going to cost a bit of money, Jesus.
Well,
Yeah,
you're making
I've,
a
I mean,
diorama.
well, yeah, it's. I've already
A
spent
life-size
about
diorama,
450 quid just on
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah,
I suppose if you
it's gonna be
go
a
all
nightmare.
in,
Yeah.
go all in. But Richard Young was superb. He's absolutely brilliant at these things. He wants to know.
Now
if
I
I'll-
have another question.
Yes, please.
Did she fix your Virgin Media issue?
No, I decided not to ask her. I didn't think it was unfair on one of them. I'm not sure which. Yeah. No, we had some catching up to do, and I've actually found the whole thing a bit bittersweet because, she's over because Dave's not with us.
Yeah.
And so that and yesterday afternoon's get together for drinks. Lovely little place around the back of Goss Manor is gorgeous. Yeah. I just found it a bit odd. There was a silence,
Oh yeah.
So I'm
There's the
hoping.
voice missing from the choir.
Yeah, basically, very loud, off-key one. Yeah, so I enjoyed it, but I wasn't quite myself yesterday, to which I apologise. Right, so... Okay. Last week we were going to look at Daleks: Genesis of Terror.
From Big Finish.
And we did.
Spanky, would you like to give a one-word review?
And well,
What do you guys? You didn't look at it.
Review. We did, and we wish we hadn't.
That-
And we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. We may say more about it afterwards.
Big Finish,
Interesting.
love you guys, but that was not your best offering, yeah.
Ouch.
He's quite right. And I'm you know how I hate not being positive about stuff, especially Big Finish, because they're good to us. But
I really like them.
we
Yeah, they're
have
very
to
good to us,
tell the
right?
truth. Integrity matters.
Yes.
And this was a waste. There was no point to it whatsoever.
Oh my God, was it? Yeah. Too bad. Because I had really high hopes for that too.
Well, the thing is, we've got a choice for next week. With either, the Ark in Space?
Oh yes.
Yes.
The original version of that, which is full cast, not the same as the Genesis of Terror. So we got that, or we can listen to the new Derek Jacobi War Master set.
Oh my.
I know.
Wow.
They
Wait,
really...
War Master,
Oh,
where
man.
he does something only slightly evil at the end, just to piss people off. The same premise as pretty much every War Master thing.
he's always got a sting in his tail.
Yeah, but he does something.
Well,
Something.
I don't know. I haven't heard it yet.
Actually, was a pretty good representation of the War Master because it showed how he's conflicted and where he's in ways lost himself, but still has a core of his identity as, at least I'm not as bad as the Daleks, right? Except then what was the girl's name? Kay keeps pointing out to him, you're just the same as the fucking Daleks.
That's the War
It's
Doctor.
awesome.
That's the
It was
War
great,
Doctor.
yeah.
Spanky.
Uh-huh.
That's the War
Oh, my
Doctor,
bad.
not the War Master.
My bad. The War Master I want to see.
In that case,
I
we
want
should-
the War Doctor to murder him. Wouldn't that be lovely?
Well, we are hoping at some stage for some crossover.
Well, we do know how the Master eventually dies, right? Because he murders himself as Missy, or is that one of those things that
The Master never
Paradox
dies.
doesn't really matter because
Master
multiple
can't
dimensions
die.
and yada
No.
yada yada. Yeah,
No.
Holmes needs his Moriarty.
that's
Now,
true.
which one is Holmes and which one is Moriarty? That's
Is the
debatable.
question.
So
At least where their work components go.
interesting week in politics this week.
Oh yeah.
Were you guys doing a
Oh,
happy
you guys
dance?
had Boris Johnson quit, right?
I
Oh,
was
it's more
doing the
than that.
happy dance.
Yeah.
I was marked safe from flying platters of ketchup.
We had an interesting week in legal events, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm referring to.
Finally served those. They finally charged Trump. I'm thrilled. That's
A
just.
federal offense that
Again.
bars him from ever voting again if convicted.
That's right, exactly right. Or owning a gun or anything else, right? Voting, a lot of things.
If you're
but yeah,
convicted of a federal offense,
No.
there are some big things.
some
that
very,
come
very
along
big
with that.
roadblocks. You lose a bunch of rights, yeah. But
Can't work
more
for the government.
importantly,
Can't.
yeah, this is going to be. This is just the. This is that at the top of the hill, that little piece of gravel that dislodges and starts rolling.
Yeah.
It starts the avalanche. Okay, now the first piece of gravel has started rolling.
And the trouble is, when the rocks start falling, it's too late for the pebbles to vote. Sorry, I had to get that one
I
out.
just want to see the bastards.
And
swept
we had some
away.
interesting stuff over here. Boris Johnson
Oh,
released
yes.
his
Boris
his
Johnson.
retirement honours list, which was just a crony thing, crony fest after crony fest. But one person everybody thought would be on there wasn't on there. She said in the morning she wasn't going to resign. She then resigned and stepping down. And by resigning, I mean stepping down as an MP entirely. Then Boris himself did that, and instead of going graciously, he did a Trump. It's everybody else's fault and not him.
Yeah.
And then another MP resigned for their seat. Now, everybody's thinking that Nadine Dorries, the woman who resigned, she's the Secretary of State for Lambrini. She's stepped down so Boris can be put in her place so he can get it's a safe seat. it's a shoo-in. There is that thought, but we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, been
I
very
would
interesting.
just
It's
like
been a lot of
to-
Schadenfreude this week.
I would like to just
Yeah.
wish both of these great white whales.
Well,
Our
one's white,
sincere-
one's orange.
May you meet.
Yeah,
May you meet.
well,
your
either way.
dog
But
and
I would just like
Tweakway
to
and-
offer them our sincerest thoughts and prayers, motherfuckers.
Yeah, you motherfuckers.
That's all you need. Thoughts and
May your
prayers.
Peacock and
Something
every
absolutely
and
pointless that we're
Captain
never
Ahab
going
find
to
you
do.
ASAP, right?
Right. So, yes. News. We the network DVD have shut down. They were this show's supply feed. Archive television, especially British bollocks.
Do you not just have Google and YouTube?
But it's not always there. These guys dug out some
It's never
obscure
always there. That's the fun of hunting it.
No, I've got patience to do that sort of nonsense.
Oh, that's the fun in looking
Well,
up stuff.
that's for
trying
you.
to find
For
it
me-
and then download it.
For me, it's a case of no, I'd rather go out and actually legally buy a DVD. And they're all
See,
restored.
the thing they
and-
have to remember with these places like streaming and everything, they're only profitable as long as they are easier than pirating.
The thing about this is their releases could not be found. Trust me, this is some obscure shit. And this other stuff, which was very findable, Thunderbirds and that. I don't think they did Thunderbirds. But they, I mean, the Quatermass, last Quatermass story, which you never got to see. Yeah,
I tried.
I need to try and work something out about that, which reminds
Yeah,
me.
we need to do the Quatermass thing again.
We're doing the
We're in the
Quatermass
last
thing.
episode.
We're saving that for the new boy, though, right?
Yes. The last episode of Callan is this Sunday, which we'll be talking about
Yes.
shortly. However, idiot face over there, the one trying to poke his brain out through his eye sockets,
Yeah.
he wants to watch the Callan one-off called The Wet Job.
The wet job.
So that'll be next Sunday. I
It
need to
brings
check.
things full circle, like
I
Lonely.
I need to I need to double check with the new boy which Sunday he's free, because we're going to have to do alternate Sundays because of his work schedule.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
But
makes
so
sense.
That's cool. We're okay
we'll
with that,
either
yeah.
be looking at the Quatermass experiment in 2 weeks' time or 3 weeks' time.
That's fine.
That's fine.
And I'm thinking, how about Children of the Stones for
Yes. Yes.
okay,
That's cool, yeah.
Yes.
for the alternate weeks?
Yeah. That's
One,
fine.
one episode of Pop?
Sure.
Yeah. That way we can space it out.
And space it out, yeah.
I do like being spaced out. So
we know this.
yeah, all right. So that's good. That's worked out well.
Oh, can I just say something? Last night I had the pleasure to rewatch. Rewatch Excalibur.
Oh, the original.
1981 movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't get
That
better than
still
that.
holds up.
That
mean,
it
is
does, doesn't
the ultimate Arthur mythos film.
I was a
It's
little
really good.
disappointed that the ending was so compressed. I wish it was more
Yeah.
compressed.
They really did they got rushed at the end. They
it
took
was
their
a little
time.
rushed.
So much to there.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
so
You know what else
much
I
of
wish they had
that
done?
which they ripped the piss out of in
I
Monty
wish they'd
Python's
done the whole Lancelot
Holy
to
Grail.
France with Guinevere, and then the whole coming back thing, like
They
Lane
only-
Caesar's
I
castle
remember
there and all
when it
that.
was
Oh,
made, they only had a certain amount of screen time.
I know.
Oh
Just-
yeah.
Nowadays,
no,
you can
but
write 5-hour epics and no one gives a pair of
production
dingoes.
values were
Mm.
fantastic.
Remarkable,
They were
weren't they?
great. They were
The
amazing,
sets,
and they had all
The
this star power.
costumes. I mean, come on.
And
Rhino
using
armor.
that classical music.
Yep. Right. Oh my God.
Yeah.
They did all that armor. Oh man, for all those guys, just crazy.
Hang on.
It had to
Hang on.
be
Hang
insane
on.
wearing all that.
There's,
You
a
heard
way,
all this
there's
stuff.
got to be a way of doing this. Brian, we may need your skills.
Okay.
Do you fancy doing Excalibur instead of episode 1 of Children of the Stones? We put it back.
No. I love
Oh.
Children of the Stones so fucking much. And I have been trying since 2019 to get you to watch this damn thing. We're not putting it off for anything.
You know, I have seen it before.
Uh-huh.
There was a reason I didn't
It's
want
the
it
BBC,
back.
right? The
Yeah, I know.
BBC 4?
No, it is
How much
What is the one
ITV.
that was like
Harlech
the
television.
Service or whatever?
This is from Nickelodeon in the 80s.
Oh, okay. It's the remake,
Um,
right?
All I had to
No,
say
it's not the remake,
is
love.
Life on Mars. Okay?
Your Revenge, is it?
Yep.
When
I
was
watched
the-
that
what was
fucking
the,
series. We can watch Children of the Stones, which is a half-hour episode.
What
Oh,
year
happy
was
day.
the
An
Nickelodeon
hour
Children of the
before.
Stones? When
It's
90 what?
probably the same thing, just repeated on Nickelodeon. I've not heard. I mean, I'm
It is
happy to
the
be
same
wrong.
thing repeated on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, this is a
Spanky, I'll send you link later. I got it all
mid
mapped out.
70s ITV production by Harlech
I got
Television.
it. Don't worry.
77?
Mid 70s, so
1977, Children of the Stones, episode 1, The Circle. Is that the one? Or is
Sounds
that
about right.
the...
Spanky, I
is
got
that
you
the
covered.
BBC?
Don't sweat
Okay,
it.
you're cool. Oh,
plus
no, you're
we,
good.
we don't
Good,
tend
good.
to spend our
I
time on the
forgot.
show
No.
looking things up all the time, which we could do afterwards. Where, in fact,
I
all
do.
two of our viewers.
We end up doing this because we are so anal.
I don't know who's actually here in chat, but
Yeah,
yeah,
all of us
we've
there,
got
right?
2 viewers according to this. I think that tells lies. Right, so.
Yeah.
Dear. Any more news? Yeah, Network's gone down, which, like I say, that was a bit of a kicker. The Babylon 5 reboot, that sunk, so I'm told. However,
I
we
thought it was
do
gonna
have
be an
the
animated
animation
thing now.
to come,
The reboot series has sunk, but they made an animated movie,
which
with
is
all the
exactly
surviving
what I
actors.
just said.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll take the
Need to
animation.
listen.
That'll
We're
be okay.
covered. You were covered a little bit.
Are you saying
down with
Spanky started doing lots of talking?
Possible.
Just
Spanky,
wondering.
lots of talking? No, he's so stoic and silent.
Dear me. It's like the string on his back just got stuck when it was pulled out, and
It's that thing just keeps revolving in him.
he's the Duracell bunny. That's all I'm saying. Right, anyway. Oh, dear. So, yeah, a bit upset about Babylon 5 going down, but like we've said, we've got the animation to look forward to. There was other shit as well, but I can't remember what it was.
I have a recommendation for a series. Just in general, just for the fun. We don't have to review it because I'm only on episode 2 myself. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called From.
From.
From. Is
It's
that any good? I saw it.
creepy,
I haven't tried it
it's
yet.
scary. It looks really good.
All right, I'll tell you what.
Cool.
Leave it there. That gives me something to watch during the week. I can have a look and check on it.
There you go.
All right.
It's fun. I'm on episode 2.
Oh, Lockwood and
I'm sorry,
Son.
3.
Lockwood and Company has been cancelled, which is a shame. A very good little series.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
However, this month we've got Strange New Worlds turning up, which I'm very much looking forward to. I like Strange New Worlds. It was good. There's something
Too much
else.
lens flare.
There's something else starting that I cannot remember what it is. Oh, Good Omens. I think it's
Oh,
this
good.
month.
Good Omens.
Or
Are they
is
gonna
it-
do it
it's
again?
either this month or next month it's starting.
Are they gonna make a
Good
series
Omens
of it
2.
or
Better
something?
Omens.
It's
Better
the
Omens,
sequel,
right?
Good
That's what we
Omens
need,
2.
right?
So however many episodes Good
Outstanding.
Omens was.
Yeah,
Outstanding.
it's Good Omens 2. Better Omens.
Good Omens was great. Oh my god, that was
The
wonderful.
book. Have you read the book?
Series 3 of Good Omens will be
Yeah.
Bestest Omens.
Oh my god, that's just gonna be epic.
You've been
That's gonna be
waiting for
good.
that, haven't you?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, pretty much.
I thought so. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
so that's some good news.
Yeah.
There's a thing.
What the hell?
In case I don't know, Auntie, I know you kind of watched it, but you're not devoted to it. Critical Role.
Oh right, I haven't seen it for a while. I have to admit.
Okay, the latest episode, it had callbacks to the 1990s movie The Prophecy.
Okay.
Oh. Oh,
With
really?
Christopher Walken.
Yeah. Oh,
This is one of those movies you need to see.
that
You
is
see, you
one of
keep
those
saying
movies
things
that's
like
actually,
this.
There are
It's
three
actually-
movies
We've lost
in
a
this
viewer
series.
as a big result. We're down to one viewer now, and that's you, Brian.
It's actually
Usually-
worth seeing
usually.
the prophecy, like up to prophecy 1 through 4 or whatever, because you get so much of the backstory and you see so much
Yeah.
crazy shit going on. Oh my God! Am I? Yeah, there it
And
is.
you get some
I'm back in there.
terrific one-liners, like
Oh
"You're
yes.
keeping me alive because you don't know DOS." Yes, for those of the millennial
Stupid shit
generation,
like that,
DOS
like,
was
oh
an
my
operating
God.
system
Disk
prevalent in the
operating
90s,
system.
before Windows.
Right.
Mhm.
So, shut up, the pair of you, dear bod.
We're having fun. We're unloading.
Oh well, that's
Oh
fair enough.
yes.
It's been a week
It's
since
been a
I
week.
could
We need
unload.
to. Oh my God.
All right.
Do
Well,
we
tell you
ever?
what. Let's at least get this out of the way. What are you doing? What? No, stop. It's doing a thing.
Are you doing a thing, or
And
is it
now,
doing
from
a
the
thing?
worlds of BBC Television's Doctor Who, it's Talk Over the Music time with Siobhan. I say it every week, but I love that little bit of music. Right. I've got to see if I've remembered this correctly. But I think that we're talking about a fifth Doctor Who, possibly. There's wearable vegetables involved, I'm sure of it. And him and his plucky girl assistants, Tegan Javanka, Adric something, and Nissa of Traken, have materialised on a little planet, and which is really called Deva Loka. And Nissa, oh dear, somehow, because they had to write her out, because there was just too many companions, they made her faint at the end of the last story, and so she's enjoying 48 hours of Delta sleep, courtesy of the Doctor's sonic screwdriver. Make of that what you
So,
will.
in other words, she went on vacation.
No, they just didn't.
No, I mean the actress. She
That's
just
what I'm
went on
talking
vacation.
about. Yeah, it was just we can't.
Yeah.
And so, off they wander around. It's a lovely jungle, lots of studio floor, and they find some wind chimes. Ah, and the trouble is, these wind chimes have a particular reason for being. They help induce a sleep state. Now, on Deva Loka, it is dangerous to sleep alone, which is why the locals, who are known as the We, share their dreams. And that's why I say we are members of the We, because fandom, Doctor Who fans, they share their dreams. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. You're just not involved in fandom, that's all it is. So
I'm
it's-
just not part of that collective subconscious.
I'm glad, otherwise we'd have
No
to see
further
a professional.
collective. Yeah.
So anyway, however, Earth, the home world have sent some explorers, and they've created a dome in the middle of the forest, and as per standard procedure, they've kidnapped 2 of the natives to hold them hostage. As the Doctor points out,
Standard procedure.
standard procedure for you, maybe. Um,
Yep.
And unfortunately, there is something lurking in the dark
Standard procedure.
places of the mind.
Standard
And-
procedure.
Right.
And,
Standard procedure.
and basically we have the video to visage as fade to grey, and I don't know why I'm trying to keep telling you this stuff,
That's like
because
they
keep
400 years of the
interrupting.
British Empire in one sentence. It's standard procedure. It's just great.
That's a
Oh,
fair
God.
comment. This story didn't do well when it was originally released. In the Doctor Who monthly annual poll. However, people have started to realise over the years just how brilliant it is. Aside from some of the
Well, that's
themes,
a phenomenon with a lot of Doctor Who stories, though, right?
It's
realize
the lore.
much later that oh my God, that was a gem.
Right,
What?
that's
Well,
the
yeah,
lore.
go back and
Human
check that out.
hindsight is actually
Oh, yes.
better than 2020.
So
So that's why old Who will never be supplanted by new Who.
I will get to finish this.
Yes,
The
but
pair of
not
you,
dead.
shut up. And Lilibet says, behave yourselves.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now, forget to take it off. So, it also includes one of the, if not the, piece of guest star acting we ever see in Doctor Who. And that is Hindle, a character who completely loses it. The box they're all looking at is a healing box, the box of Jhana. That's what it's supposed to do. Yeah, no, it's true, Brian. And so you can make up what you like about what he's saying. It'll probably be closer to what he thinks. And so I like this whole Brian muted thing. It's
Really?
yeah, man. It's really good.
Oh, by all means, I will keep going.
So, Brian, what did you make of Kinder?
Well, I do want to say something.
Thank you for the pause. I appreciated
That-
that pause.
Well, I was thinking about it and composing it as you were speaking. Matthew Waterhouse. He gets a lot of flack from people, mainly because they don't like Adric, but that's the writer's fault. It's the whole Wesley Crusher syndrome. People didn't like
Yeah, poor
Wesley
kid.
because he was a precocious, intelligent teenage boy. He was Gene Roddenberry's stand-in on the show.
Yeah,
That's fair.
essentially.
Adric is kind of cut from the same cloth.
Yeah, that's fair. Or
To the point
Wesley's
that
cut from the
some
same cloth as
people-
Adric.
Yes. To the point that some people, self-included, cheered when he blew up the dinosaurs.
And you see, I always liked Adric, so you know.
I never liked the character. But
Fair enough.
lots of people have to and I notice this doesn't happen always, but lots of people have to differentiate the actor, the person, from the part. So he gets kind of
Yeah, a lot of people don't seem to be able to do
bum
that,
rap
yeah.
on things. That is undeserved because you're a kid. You're given the script. You hit the mark and you bark.
Yep.
Now let me tell you a behind the scenes story from Kinder. Now Matthew Waterhouse himself swears this didn't actually happen, but everybody else swears that it did. The guy in charge of the base was played by an ancient and venerable British actor. Richard Todd, I think his name was. And apparently, and again, we don't know how apocryphal this is, but Matthew was trying to give him acting hints.
The boy was trying to give the ancient, venerable stage and
Yeah.
screen icon acting hints. Wow.
Well.
This was his
let's
first
look
job,
at
remember?
it from one perspective. This ancient, venerable
Second job.
screen icon.
Yes.
Has he ever worked in Doctor Who prior?
Right.
Or Sci-Fi prior?
Oh, what a good point. What a good point. All right, listen, I'm meeting
Because if he
Waterhouse
hadn't, to the
in
child,
September.
then he would not
I'll
matter,
say
right?
this
Because
is your answer. This
it
is
never
your
existed
answer.
until then.
Though, to be
Yeah,
fair, I
because sometimes-
suspect...
Acting in different genres requires different methods.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is an ancient and venerable British actor who...
Classical actor?
classical films, everything else like that.
No, I mean what his. I mean, okay, there are certain actors that you always see in like a rom-com,
Okay.
which is incredibly
No,
different
his
from
his
being
body
in
of
an
work.
action movie.
His body of work was a lot wider than that.
Okay.
Either way you look at it, if it did happen, it was a bit of a faux pas. I mean, he's only, 17, 18, if that?
Oh my God, 16.
It's
I thought
like,
he was
yeah,
16
we
or
normally
17 or
don't do
something.
that here.
Yeah,
We shouldn't
know?
do that. Yeah.
We don't. That's not what we do here.
yeah. I don't think
Even
it would like
Americans
that.
aren't usually that crass. But
Yeah, he's a teenage kid.
Why don't you try acting it like this? And you don't say that to him. But again, that's he'll be at Hooverville, by the way, on September the 2nd, along with 8 doctors. Do you hear me, Hatcher? 8. I count.
8.
All right, I count. And I've got a whole panel to be able to prove that to everybody.
I'm scared.
Yeah, Paul Noonan. And I'm interviewing Noonan, Tim Trelaw, and Michael Troughton on stage at the same time. And I don't know, I'm waiting to see if Noonan and I can sort out. Well, we've got a gag to open with, and I'm just wondering whether we could do a gag to close with or not.
I just want video.
I did
video.
ask Tim Drury yesterday if he'd be videoing it, but he says he's no idea if he's doing the official videoing or not.
Fuck the official. I just want video. I'll take fan
I
video.
don't
I'll
think-
take TikToks.
I don't think Sinister's coming either. So, may have to ask Adam, our brother from another
I'll take
podcast.
TikToks. Okay, just we're gonna need to see all this.
I think you're going to be disappointed, but okay.
Doesn't matter.
You've
Picture
got to remember,
didn't
I do
happen.
need to reel it in a bit because it's a room full of people who pay to hear them talk, not just hear me and Stephen bitch at each other. It's
You should have Steven bring a quiz and just quiz the audience on one of his quizzes.
actually there's a chance we could get him to do one on the Friday night at the
Here you
Quad.
go. Pub quiz.
Yeah,
There you go.
I will
quiz,
not be
right.
taking
Oh my
part.
God.
I've had the brain damage. I don't need to do it anymore.
You can help. Score people.
It's oh man. One thing that gets me is he comes up with these quizzes and they're incredibly in depth and everything else like that. And I'm saying, well, how the hell are you? And he says, well, as I'm watching along, I write questions. The problem is I answer them, and that's the bit he can't understand. He says I have the most amazing powers of recall, and I personally think I haven't got. I've got the memory the size of a pea.
I seem to recall that David Tennant,
I remember him.
RTD, and Moffat
Yes,
all lost a
yes,
pub quiz.
they did. They did indeed.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hard.
Which I have to admit is yeah, that amused me. I'm going to be honest with you. So anyway, Kinder, apart from talking about Adric, Brian, what more do you have to say?
Nothing much, really. It
Really,
didn't do anything.
the
for me.
themes didn't engage with you?
No. Like I said, I've had a really rough week. So
No, was I?
That's fair.
yeah.
I should have asked you to watch Dimensions in Time instead.
No, fuck you. You tried that once already.
I know, it was joyous. However, there is a
You
version of
get
it.
all the newbies to do it.
There's a version of it I do want you to watch. It's the one
I
with
remember
the
now.
production subtitles. There may not possibly be very serious. Spanky, wake up, love.
Yes,
Hello. Did you watch
I
Doctor
think,
Who and the Kinder?
I did.
Oh,
And
what did you
know
think?
what it reminded me of was that Star Trek episode. I'll even name the
The
episode
apple?
specifically because I want to. Yeah, the apple. Right, we talked about this last week
We did.
briefly.
Yeah.
It was season 2, episode 5. In case anyone.
He's
ever
got notes.
watched
He's
this
got
and-
notes.
And is it? I just that one because
Calling you
I
out.
couldn't remember the name of the frickin' thing, and it took me so long to find it. So I actually had to write it down to make sure I wouldn't forget it again. But
It's got notes.
yeah, the the whole thing just jived with that. So that was it. That's all I wanted to say. We said everything else already.
Yeah, but people didn't hear us say it. Unless you're talking
Yeah, I
about
know,
now.
but I can't remember what I said before, and so now I've just spit out everything I had.
Oh,
and that
God,
was
it's like talking to
pretty much-
myself. Right. Well, basically, there's lots of little threads. There's lots of Buddhist references. Because Christopher
Yes.
Bailey, I believe, may be a Buddhist. That, again, another possible...
There's a lot of Buddhist
Word that I've
in the
forgotten.
60s and 70s episodes. A lot of Buddhist influence
This
in
is
the Doctor
80s,
Who
love.
thing. Yeah, 80s. Wow, damn.
1982 it
condolences
was
then, yeah.
broadcast.
Was it?
Yep.
Was this 82? Good
Yeah.
lord. Oh, it was. Damn, because this is the fourth Doctor, right? Fifth
No,
Doctor.
no, Fifth Doctor. Oh,
Whatever.
God.
The one after Tom.
Look, it's a
The
Doctor.
one after the greatest Doctor of all. Oh, sorry. I said that.
Uh-huh.
I mean, after my favorite Doctor. I can't say the
I'm
greatest
gonna
Doctor of all.
let
After
you
my
know.
favorite Doctor.
What I'm going to say is that I'm listening to the Ark at the moment, the new Big Finish thing, because I wanted to give you a flavour. You see this piece of scenery with all these huge bite marks in it. They were caused by Tom Baker. Basically, Tom, I don't know, some sort of emergency valve got pushed or something for extra Tom Baker. And there was Tom Baker.
Well, that's how things work.
Yes.
Well, so Ace of Thorns isn't that good. So far, however, I do very much enjoy. So Chris Naylor as Harry, Daisy Ashford as Sarah. Yes, I do like that, but I've only heard the first episode so far. I'll try and remember to come back to you on that one because we are doing the War Master next time. You can't mend people.
You can't fix stupid, I think is the way you say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a modern day
Yeah.
interpretation. But in this particular instance, you can't mend people. To what is he referring? Why do I bother?
I'm waiting for you to fill the gap there.
We're waiting for you to fill in the gap.
talking
yeah.
about himself.
Go ahead and answer your question.
He's talking about himself. He's regressed to childhood, a particularly nasty childhood. And you can't mend people! And, yeah. And, of course, it's all about boxers anyway, apparently, according to Cornell. But the Boxer Jhana healing device, and as the Doctor says at the end, it's just what he needed. He needed to be driven out of his mind and brought back into it again. Dr. Todd, will they, won't they romance thing there with Nerys Hughes. Interesting. And Mary Morris, who played Panna, the old woman. Idiot. There's some very good stuff in this. We love Kinder. Unfortunately, these two have had such a week each that we can't go into any real depths. And
So here's a question.
yes,
That entire subconscious dreamscape thing,
yes.
did any of them ever dream of electric sheep?
Well,
No.
They weren't robots, were
Unfortunately.
they?
Are you sure?
If Tegan had been a robot, the Doctor would have turned her off by now.
I'm not so
At
sure.
least press the
That's
mute
pretty
button.
fair. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's pretty fair.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh,
However,
yes.
you're walking along the beach and you see a tortoise turned upside down. It's dying, scorched in the sun. What do you do?
Do I have food?
Fail your Turing test and shoot your interviewer.
Do I have food? Can I survive without eating the turtle?
Tortoise.
Well, can I survive
Tortoise.
without eating the tortoise?
Yes.
In that case, I'll set it up right and let it do whatever it needs to do.
She's one of them. Call
Yes.
the line, Spanky.
Yes,
Yep,
indeed.
mhm,
I am
that's it.
one of them. It's our month this month, and God, people are hating it. Sorry.
Oh, can I just mention the Schadenfreude?
Yes, Schadenfreude, yes.
Yes,
Shut
from
up.
Pat Robertson.
Ah,
Pride
yes. That vile little
Dies
piece
in
of
Pride
Troll
Month.
of a
Awesome.
human being.
Yeah. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, right? Yeah.
Fred Westborough, possibly. That's the Westborough. Is the Westborough Church still
Westboro
a thing?
Baptist Church?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they are, but they're not.
They've gone very
on
quiet.
anybody's radar.
Ah. Radar or radar.
They haven't pissed off quite enough people lately.
They will. And yeah.
Oh,
so,
probably.
did you enjoy Kinder?
Yes.
Brian, like I say, there's absolutely no point asking you.
Look, my week has taken over. Was taking over my life when I watched
Oh,
it.
my poor love. All right. Well, next week we're going to do the Space Museum.
Again?
Great.
Oh, when did we last do it?
Yes, I feel like I've been hitting the head.
Like
That's what my
2020?
week has been like.
2021.
That's not a spanky job, though, is it?
We did it post Eddie.
Post Eddie, pre Spanky?
Maybe.
Were they what, Spanky? Spanky.
Hang on. I'll do thinking. I can do some thinking. You see, we did a Troughton, didn't we?
I warned you about doing that.
And then
Your
there's the
doctors
whole
did not to.
Pertwee thing. The urge for a Pertwee is strong, I will be honest. But then it always is.
We do a Pertwee. Who cares? We make our own rules here on the Blade.
It's true. I do.
Okay, truth being told, we don't actually have rules, but the future historians, in hindsight, draw
tell us
weird
what we
parallels
should be
between the
doing.
shit we do and what happens. And
It's a
say,
causal loop,
hey, those rules,
basically.
Yeah.
And you go, yeah.
Basically, we don't know what we're doing, but the future historians do, so they tell us what we're doing.
Therefore,
ahead of
we
time
do it so
them
that
to
it's
do
done
it.
for them to know.
It's kind of like
And we
the
just take the
grandfather
word for it,
clause.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Zug.
It's a grandfather clause. Yeah, basically. Right. Exactly. It's a double grandfather clause. Oh, my God.
Yes. We're going to do Dalek Invasion of Earth.
Okay.
Season 2?
I thought you meant the movie.
No, we're doing the TV show, mate.
I may just do the movie.
We are the bastards of Earth. To be perfectly honest with you, you could possibly bluff your way through that just by watching the movie. And it's look.
I
Don't
like
tell
the
us.
jazz.
Do me a favor. Don't tell us if you watch the TV or the movie versions. Let's see
Okay.
if we can guess from your response next Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. We got a game. That's good. I like this. Okay, so the Dalek Invasion of Earth. That includes the standard at the end. I always charge five quid to people if they use it on Twitter. I never get a penny. So last week we did Listening to a Big Finish. And I'm trying to remember what it was. It's there. It's in my head. It will come to me.
I thought it was
War Doctor.
the terror thing.
No, it wasn't a War Doctor. What was it? Spanky,
No.
what did we listen to?
Space 1999. Sorry.
Space
I was muted.
right, Space 1999.
Skull in the
Okay.
Sky, the Godhead Interrogative, and Dragon's Domain. I only got to listen to the first two though.
Okay, well, that's good. I listened to 2.5 of them. But
There you
so
go.
basically, the first one, the last one, and half of the second. The moon is continuing on its mysterious path. Now, this is the original moon, not the egg that Koenig left behind.
Right.
Damn, trying to fool us. However, things are going a little bit pear-shaped. There's water. It looks like water
When are they not? Right.
in space. And within this huge, it looks like a massive skull. And the deluge hits. And after the opening titles, it's a case of 5 years on. Alan Carter's dead.
Space Rain.
Koenig has been exiled. Commissioner Simmons is now Governor Simmons. Paul Morrow is alive somehow. And is now commander. And they've made...
Commander, what do you call it? The governor or some shit, right?
Yes. You're about 50 seconds behind us, but don't worry. You're
I'm
getting
sorry.
there.
I must be lagging.
You
My
keep
bad.
trying there, Jones. And so, however, when all this kicked off, it deluged Moonbase Alpha. And suddenly Alpha's got an atmosphere, and they're able to grow things, and all sorts of stuff like that. Except it's going wrong. And then, sensors pick up that the deluge is coming back, and they won't be able to handle it this time. Spanky, what do you make of this one, the first one?
I made this. It was great. I enjoyed it. I like the idea of rain on the moon. Just
Spoilers,
tickled
by
me.
the way.
Yeah, and that they had become, in that brief period when what's his name got elected to governor, and in his lust for power, he had dropped the ball so many different ways. Like the airlocks were almost all of them were broken,
Yeah.
so they couldn't retreat back into the base. Once the deluge was coming again and was gonna wipe away the thing, and they were gonna lose their atmosphere and stuff. Like they were like, "Wait, what? The airlocks? You didn't fix the airlocks? What?" He had taken apart their spacecraft and stuff, and grounded the fleet without telling anybody, just to be a jackass. But we needed space for people to live. We were gonna turn them into housing, and I mean, if you're on the moon and you had a bunch of space shuttles and you found out that some jackass decided to turn them into low-rent apartment buildings instead of using them to get back to get to Earth for supplies.
Also, they only had 2 eagles left, didn't they? They cannibalized all the others.
But that's
Cannibalized
capitalism.
the rest. That's awesome.
That's capitalism
just
for
great.
you. Use up your natural resource.
It was such a, kind of Lord of the Flies kind of thing there, where just everything was falling apart. Everything was done as stupid as possible, and you could tell where, you've been. What was it? There would go. You're not supposed to be here. I was waiting for him to try and kill the guy, just to make sure he stayed away. But it was priceless. That was just great. I really liked it. I enjoyed it a lot because it got to show people being stupid, but it was fun stupid, so
Yeah.
that was okay.
There is an explanation as to what's happening. And
Oh,
it
yeah.
is an explanation
Yeah.
for every single version of Space 1999 you could imagine.
That ever happened, right? Yes.
Yeah.
And they all kind of collide together at the end.
Don't they just?
They
However,
just?
things at the end are back to normal, sort of. Not going to
Sort
say
of.
why. The next one, the second one, they've found an object. Space 1999 is always
yes.
doing that. Now, Kano, the computer wizard, she's been trying to translate this thing from a previous box set that was left behind. And she's slowly getting somewhere with it.
Wait. From a previous box set.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
From a story from a
right,
previous
go
box
ahead.
set.
That's
It's
right, right,
ongoing.
right.
I
It's
get
a
it.
story arc, Brian. You like story arcs.
I understand. I'm just well, in our last box set, we had this. They left this behind on the ship. But we're not quite sure what it does.
Has anyone got anything that can play this physical media?
Oh my god, too funny.
Spanky, what happens in the second one?
The second one was the number 100 was really important to everybody all the time, and they sent those motors and they grabbed the moon and they were flying to the whatever place, and
You see,
the one guy wanted to eject the artifact or whatever to hopefully to make the motors fly away, and they're still trying to translate everything and trying to communicate, and it got rather hectic.
I don't really need to worry about spoilers when Spanky gives us an appraisal of what's going on.
Because I'll give you spoilers, but you won't know what the hell I'm talking
No.
about anyway, even when you watch
They're
the
buried
thing.
in there somewhere. Did you
Yeah.
enjoy the second one?
I did.
This is
I liked it.
This
I
is
was good. I
excellent
like
news.
Space 1999.
now.
It's on my list of things to watch again, damn it.
We won't be able to get it from network.
Although we can get it from YouTube, and I think Peacock is showing it as well.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Now the third story is the one that every Space 1999 fan was waiting for. Dragon's Domain. Dragon's Domain on the TV series was about, I don't know, mid-series. And it told the tale of an astronaut from a previous mission who was now one of the crew on the moon base. Something went terribly wrong with that mission, and he was the last survivor. And he kept saying there was a monster, an absolute monster in these ships. Because in the TV series, it's a Sargasso Sea of ships, basically. Dragon's Domain on the television scared the living shit out of a generation. And if I'd had the foresight, I'd have said, let's do the TV version as well. We may have
to remember this.
And so this is them telling almost the same story, but using their own setup. Instead of brand new astronaut bod of the week who's been invited in to play the part, it's Alan Carter. And this time round he falls in love, and they've worked out a way they can build what they call the Ultra Mission, a new space vehicle that will take them back to Earth, or at least they hope it will. However, it's going to take 3 years of mining on a particular planet to do. And somehow that goes on. And then when the moon comes back into communications range and everything, they can't get hold of anyone. And then eventually they see... I do apologise. No, they launch the mission, the Ultra Mission. Something a bit funny about it. So eventually the moon catches up, and all that's left is the command module. And Alan Carter inside raving like a loony. And he swears blind he didn't kill the crew. There's a lot of doubt and ifs and buts and maybes. But there was a monster! Going back to the previous box set, they discover they use the thing, and they discover on the map that's on there, there's like a line. And the translated word just says dragon. This fucking beast is huge, it's nasty, and it kills. And my only disappointment was that the ending was just a little bit too perfunctory. A couple of blasts from an eagle's lasers, and that's it, it's dead. That was a problem I had with it. They did it better in the TV series, because again it was more visual, and like I say, even though it was 1970s, we were on either 405 or 625 lines, and fuck me, the thing scares the living daylight even now on Blu-ray. It's so I enjoyed it. It was a different telling. I thought the ending could have been a bit better. Spanky.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you didn't listen to this one, did you?
I did not. Sorry,
Brian. I know you didn't listen to it, but do you want to tell us? Do you want to tell us about it?
Sure.
Yeah, please.
Well, they see a kaiju in space. And
that's a good answer.
From your description of the entire thing,
what is a kaiju?
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
So, from your description of the whole thing, it sounds like a retelling of the 1950 movie Godzilla.
Okay, I have no point of reference, so I cannot disagree or agree with you. So
yeah, just from your telling of the story, because you got the ships out in space, ships on the sea, ship gets destroyed, lone survivor. He's stark raving mad, both cases, and he describes a creature that is impossible and then is attacked. However, the only difference from what I can tell is they didn't have any Deus Ex Machina for getting rid of the monster. In the movie, they had the oxygen destroyer, which
in this it was just a couple of laser blasts. On the TV episodes, it's a fight to the death on board the ship.
That's fine. I like that. But
by then, most of us were too busy changing our pants and cleaning up to be able to see the end of that.
well, I think I'm a little jaded, maybe broken by
Oh, you're
horror.
broken.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know I'm
Definitely.
broken, but in this case, there's broken and there's jaded broken.
Yeah, that button's been beaten so
'Cause
many
I
times,
don't
it just doesn't work anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, when I see horror movies like that, the only thing that really gets me is jump scares
Yeah.
because I'm not
That's it.
expecting
I
them.
once asked Mark
That's
Gatiss. I once asked Mark Gatiss because he's a big horror buff. Has horror now just become gore rather than tension?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's way
basically,
too much
splatterfest,
gore.
and that's
Not
it. Right?
enough.
Yeah.
It's a splatter fest.
Yeah.
There's not enough terror. There's not enough.
They didn't even notice.
No suspense,
Horror
no
in
build up.
horror
It's just
anymore.
shock, and then it's the jump
Yeah.
scare, and that's it. Yeah.
That was a
Yeah,
quality
that
name
hasn't
drop, and you didn't notice it.
No, I
Yeah,
noticed.
we
Mark
just
Gatiss.
overlooked it. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, you know,
Tell
I
him
think the
I want
last
my
movie
money
that
back for
actually
watching
did-
that goddamn Dracula series.
I think the last movie that actually
That
did
last
good with that was
episode,
The Hitcher.
what the
One
fuck
at
was
a
he-
time.
That
Sorry, go
last
ahead.
episode of Dracula, what the fuck was he thinking?
But it was also Stephen Moffat.
Oh, I blame him too.
Okay.
But he has so much more to answer for. And he's actually made me afraid of things.
It actually made you what?
Afraid of things.
Yeah.
Like bad adaptations? What?
Like libraries made out of bugs in the shadows that will eat you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh, freaky.
I got to admit, Moffat did know what he was doing there, didn't he?
Angel statues.
Yeah. It's grandfather's footsteps. It's
Like Gatiss
Angel
has a lot
statues
more
are-
to answer for.
Definitely.
well,
I'm
the
with you.
Teletubby
Things
That
are
Daleks
Dracula
were
evil.
start.
series was beautiful. Beautiful. Right up until the end.
To the end.
What the
When the
fuck?
scream subsides. Right. So next week, it's Doctor Who's going to be the War Master. That's Big Finish, Doctor Who, starring Sir Derek Jacobi. So you better be fucking nice about it, or we'll come and cut your head off. Possibly. I will also have a listen to the Ark. I'll put the link up there for you, Spanky, if you get time to listen to the Ark. It's there for you. If not, please don't worry.
So give me both of them,
That's what I'm going to do.
just so I can try.
That's what I'm going to do. But I don't want you,
Thank you, darling.
going nuts with it.
No,
Brian,
I'll do my best.
you can sit and swivel on it. Well, yeah, I don't have time to listen to Big Finish anymore. I remember the days you were begging for stuff to do whilst you were at work. You were
got
so
this.
bored.
I
Different
was
job.
so bored. And then employers
his-
found out I was bored.
and
You fool!
they decided to take their revenge.
They decided, oh, he's bored. Let's make him do more stuff.
Anyway, so next week's Doctor Who is the Dalek Invasion of Earth, and also the War Master new set, which has an interesting premise to it. I'm fascinating to see what's going to happen with that. With the War Master, you just don't know. You just don't know.
He's going to be a bit prickish. He's going to do some things, do some moderate, maybe minor evil stuff, but he'll generally solve the problem, get everything happy, and then he'll do something not even evil, just minorly annoying, and twirl his mustache a little bit and say, "What an evil bastard I am."
Right.
And
Okay.
that's it. On to the next story.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Okay.
Right. All right. So now we move on to Kolchak, the Night Stalker.
Yay.
Yay.
The first episode of the series, The Ripper. I think I'm going to have trouble watching a lot of this. I'll do my
Why is
best.
that?
Well, so far we've had 2 movies and an episode, and they've all been telling the same bloody story.
Except this one is Jack the Ripper. And he's immortal and invulnerable.
Yeah.
Unless there's
The first one was
Yep,
just
yep,
the
yep.
Boston Strangler being retold as a gothic horror movie.
Right.
And then before that, it was a vampire doing the same damn thing.
Yeah,
Well, that was a vampire.
but you can't
was a
tell
really
the
good
same
take on the
story
vampire.
over and over again and expect people to accept it.
Welcome
It's
to
also
the 70s.
that's what I was about to
Also,
say.
I
It
have-
gotta
reeks
deal with
of
that.
70s.
Also, for reference, Fox movie studios retelling the Phoenix Saga. How many
Oh my
fucking times?
Sorry, the Phoenix Saga. Sorry, I had a lot
Phoenix
of
Saga.
trouble hearing you over somebody else.
Right. Yeah.
Do you think we should get in a large? You
Saga.
call them pacifiers. Should we put one in and then you can electrocute him every
binky?
time he's got to speak?
We'll give him a binky that's electrified.
Yeah, that's good. We like that.
A shock binky. There you go.
There you go. Shock binky.
Pink,
We'll
of
make
course.
it taste like whiskey.
A taser binky.
Oh, that's something we need to build. Anyway,
See, over here we call it a
We're
dummy, not a
copyrighting that,
binky.
patenting it, you
But
sons of
binky's
bitches.
such a
Nobody's allowed to
better
build
word.
Taser binkies but us.
see, in the 70s, they were still on this whole serial killer deal. Son of Sam was still going on.
It's an American
You
thing.
don't know the Son of Sam?
No, we've
Famous
never,
serial killer in New York City?
no, we've never met.
Okay.
This is
Dog
your,
was
this is
telling
your
him to
history,
kill
love.
his neighbors and shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, the guy with
All I can say is the casual
he threw New
criminalist
York
hasn't
City
covered
into
it
a
yet.
panic for like months.
But New York City's always in a
Like
fucking
9 or
panic.
10 months.
No, this was different.
Yeah. No,
This
like he was
different.
killing people every night on the street, fucking like just.
You see, the
Yeah, the
problem
whole
I've got with
city
this,
in
And then you had the Zodiac killer.
and the Zodiac, right? And BTK and frickin' Geen and there were
Yeah.
so many of them active at the same time.
But they were
Holy
really
shit.
on the whole Ripper thing. And
well, again, using Jack the Ripper seemed like a cliche.
it is, but it's a cliche that's been going on forever because people keep doing it.
Yeah,
Real
it
people
doesn't mean
keep
it's right.
committing Ripper murders.
Oh.
They're copycats. It's insane. Literally.
They rehashed the Ripper thing. What, every 15 or 20 years, somebody writes a new book about it, draws new inferences, and then there comes that Ripper cycle of movies and stories, and then it dies down for a couple of years, and then someone does it again.
I do wonder just how
It's
much
been happening for the last
imagination
200 years. Yeah,
people
so.
are putting into all these new Ripper books because there's only a set amount of facts available.
Oh,
Doesn't
is it-
matter. They'll rehash them.
What's his
Or
name?
they will make up their own shit, which is
In
more
From
likely
Hell.
nowadays.
Warren Ellis, was it?
Prince Albert Victor.
From Hell, that was Alan
Yeah,
Moore.
Prince Albert and From Hell.
No,
Wasn't
From
that Warren
Hell
Ellis?
was
No, that was
movie
Alan
with
Moore.
Johnny Depp about the.
Well, yeah, but it originated with the
Ripper
comic
murders.
book, the graphic
That's
novel
the Alan
From
Moore
Hell.
Yeah,
comic
Yeah,
book.
yeah.
was it
Alan
Alan Moore? That's
Moore
right,
wrote
yeah,
it
Alan Moore.
about the
He
Ripper
did.
murder.
So much research for that. I have to give more of that. That was probably his best research work ever when he finally did that, because he wanted not just to tell you a Ripper story, but he wanted to point to that whole Ripper phenomenon, which is what I just obliquely referenced and what Siobhan is really kind of talking about. It's just he keeps getting dragged up and put into our consciousness like this. And there's a reason why, of course, the horrifying nature of the killings and things, and that serial killers are a prevalent part of our society now, and a lot of other things. But that, man, he really goes into it deeply and does a really good job of not just sensationalizing the gore and the violence, but in going, what is it with us that we need to keep doing this kind of shit?
There's an awful. He really delves into the whole Masonic side of it.
I really like
Oh, yeah.
Alan Moore a lot. He's a really,
It's
really
one of
good
two books
comic
Dave
writer. Oh my
gave
god.
me. One was From
He is
Hell, and
definitely
one was
He's in a league of his own.
Yeah.
Only problem I have with From Hell is I found not so much the artwork but the actual lettering difficult to read in places.
Yeah, that was kind of
yeah, hand lettering. Yeah, I get that. The
hand
movie,
lettering is always brutal.
I was kind of on.
The movie jerked around so much.
But it had Heather
through the
Graham,
book,
so I watched.
and
the
it had
hell
Heather
out of
Graham. That was the whole point. Yeah, Heather
That
Graham.
It was Johnny Depp, but with Heather Graham.
Johnny
and Heather
Depp was
Graham
like,
as a redhead.
I don't care. Heather Graham was what made the movie worth watching. Yeah, that's true.
Preverts, a lot of you.
No, actually, her character,
I'm not a favorite.
Mary
She's
Kelly.
an incredibly
Oh, you
talented
bloody
actress,
well
a
are.
beautiful woman. She's awesome. I like her.
Yeah, no,
Don't get to see enough of her.
her character, Mary Kelly, is the prostitute that helps Steps work out the murder, and then she disappears with the baby.
Yeah,
Who is actually the heir to the
heir to the throne. Right?
Again, there's an awful lot of supposition involved with that.
There is in everything because that's the time they were in. They had no clue what was going on.
Right, they still don't know what happened, so all you're ever going to get about the Ripper is supposition.
Forensics.
So, getting back to my point, it does reek of fairly cheap American Saturday night TV. I don't even know if it was on Saturday nights. You know, it is. Like I say, we've had 3 so far, and they've told the same story each time.
It's sensationalist.
And
you're going to find that a lot more.
The characters are not particularly likable. I'm sorry, but they're not.
It gets.
We'll see how it goes.
Better and worse.
Well,
it gets better and worse.
But I mean, this is of the time where you had the fat detective, the wheelchair detective, the scruffy detective, the detective with a horse,
Rockford Files, Quincy, Kojak.
Oh my God, there's so many.
Ad nauseum.
Yeah. So this is very. We've seen it all before, but it's got at least this has a supernatural angle. I just wish that they wouldn't tell the same story every time. It's. But we shall
that's why Darren McGavin eventually left the show after one season.
They are, they were, they will be.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an episode in it.
All right. I don't know how many seasons of this were there.
Oh, we get the alien, we get the zombie, and a few other things.
20 episodes.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, that was they are. Your next up is the zombie.
The zombie, yeah. I like the take on the zombie that they did.
It'll start
with him. They really went the most hardcore, brutal way on that.
Yes, it didn't do the standard.
It'll start with a girl of possible dubious morals coming home from work being stalked by a zombie. And I was going to say with a voiceover over the top.
No.
Well, don't say. We'll find out when I watch it.
It's different, but it's the same.
Okay.
It's not.
Well, let's just wait and see.
First episode of the series, Siobhan, you really can't make that. They're all the same judgment yet.
I've seen 3 so far, and all 3 have been the same.
You've seen 2 made-for-TV movies.
A lot of them follow the same formula.
Right.
We shall see.
The formula.
We shall see.
Remember when they
listen? I'm prepared to love it. I just need it to do more for me. Right.
Don't worry, you'll get more.
Yeah. So, what did you make of it, boys?
I'm in the vote of I love it.
Well, there's no point asking you, is there?
It was pretty standard.
Well, no. The fact that they had the Ripper be pretty much invulnerable, however, vulnerable to electricity, and that's something they didn't explain at all.
Right.
But they sussed it out because...
Lazy. They should have explained it.
Why should they?
Because they're paid writers.
Or maybe there's an Black Frankenstein reference there or something that you didn't pick up on. Yeah.
Or they ran out of time and something had to be cut.
Yeah, they have to find a way to get rid of it. Yeah. It's just a modern day take on the Ripper. They do the standard Kolchak thing.
Yeah.
He's exploring the Ripper's, lair.
And God, he's a klutz. He falls over everything.
He does, doesn't he?
Staring at him. Right there. Doesn't do a damn thing to him. See, there's no conversation. There's no dialogue. I would have liked to have more dialogue.
That would have been nice.
All right, well, let's see how this goes. Spanky, what did you think of this one?
I thought it was good. I liked it. Like I said, kind of standard for Ripper Fare, but they did a good job of bringing him forward into this sort of millennia. the electricity thing, I still don't know what the hell to make of that. Like, but you know,
Fire from God.
I have a possible
fire from God.
thought.
There you go. That's divine
I
fire.
got a possible thought. People say, right, our brains have a lot of electricity going through it. When we die, that electricity's got to go somewhere. Part of me thinks that could be an explanation of the spirit, the electricity from the brain when you die. And maybe if in that particular respect, electricity might have damaged him and whatever, McCall.
Sorry, I don't know.
It's whatever.
Just saying.
Just upset my device.
I mean, if you really want to get into it, we could start watching Penny Dreadful.
There you go. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby.
Looky what I got. And yes, it's back to front, but I don't care. 1972, the original making of Doctor Who. I've never owned this.
Now, here's an idea. I like that idea, though. The electricity, but, where like it's that 21 grams thing, right? What happens when you die? Where does that mystery weight go, or whatever, your electrical activity, or who knows? What all these monsters want with a living body anyway, right? What are they actually getting from it other than tearing someone to pieces or something? Like, meh.
I mean, could you eat?
Who knows?
Could you drink? Could you enjoy it? The same things? Who knows? Anyway, so that was Kolchak. We didn't have too much to say about it, but I'm not that surprised. Like I say, we'll wait and see. Now then, this should be our final Callan review.
Yes. It's our next to the last Callan.
There's always more.
In this particular instance, there's always one. So, things are getting a bit het up. They're looking for Richmond still, the section. Remember, this is the Richmond Files. This is part 3. And Richmond goes to ground. And some stupid student back in the 60s had gone on a trip to Moscow or somewhere and had been recruited by the KGB for a sum of money to just live his life. But there might be a time where somebody comes along and needs to stay with him and ask him for a favour. And that's what Richmond's doing now. So he turns up there. This guy's... Oh,
he's got a whole book full of contacts like that too, right?
Oh, yeah. And it's a case... Eventually, the section track him down, mainly due to Callan, who realises, hang on a second, let's see what happens with foreign newspapers, Russian newspapers and whatever.
Callan really shows his genius as a field agent.
He does.
He shows his field craft, why he is the best. Not just because he's a really good shot, because he is really fucking good at hunting men. That's what he does. He's a manhunter.
Watch out, here he comes. This obviously being the final episode of Callan.
Regular series.
Everybody turns up for the party. Bishop is there. Obviously, Hunter's there. Toby, of course, one of the other guys who we've seen before. And Dr. Snell suddenly has an expertise in computers.
Oh, yes.
And they run all the factors through for the computers. And the computer generates a list of 10 names. Callan is on there as being somebody who might be sympathetic towards Richmond. However, thanks to Callan's magazine foibles, they match it up with the right name on the list, but they just miss Richmond. So it's a chase. Callan gets Lonely to drive him down to where it looks like Richmond is going to try and catch a Russian boat out of the harbour. And so Callan has to go down there and catch him. It's an interesting one because it isn't just shooty bang bang. All the little things that have come up between Richmond and Callan get brought to the surface as they're creeping around and shouting at each other.
Years and years, right, of one man looking to kill the other guy, right?
Yeah.
And one guy trying to prove he's better than the other guy, and just damn. Ooh.
And it's more than that. It's the way that they are treated by their respective departments.
The way, the way they're used by the powers that have them in their thrall, right?
Anyway, it turns out Richmond gets the drop on Callan. And Callan is only saved by Lonely taking the bullet for him.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And you can tell it was going to be a serious episode because at one point earlier, Lonely had called Callan David, which I think's only happened once before. And interesting thing, I guess that makes us even, Mr. Callan.
Right? Because Callan saved his life in prison.
Yeah.
And now Lonely has saved Callan's life. And
However,
this matters actually in the wet job later. Because
no, let's not ruin this by talking about the wet job.
It's a thing. No, I mean it's foreshadowing about their relationship. When he says, "I guess this makes us even," it's important. That's all I want to point out.
All right, let's not talk about the wet job. I don't feel well.
We're not. No. But
are you determined?
Everything in Callan sets up something else. That's the point.
Callan executes Richmond at his request because he couldn't handle being.
I mean, you want to call that execution? It was more of a mercy killing. Really.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I did say at his request,
Yeah.
and of course Hunter's not very happy about it because he wanted Richmond alive.
Not at all. Right.
And he says, "I'm going to break you this time," and Callan says, "Too late, mate. Far too late," and
mate.
walks out, and that's how it ends.
Yep.
The apparent being, that's it. Callan's done. That's it. You won't do any more. So Spanks, what'd you make of it?
Yes, ma'am. Loved it. Amazing. There is so much going on here, and it's hard to address some of it. For example, that remark that Lonely makes, I guess this makes us even, because there's only one place you can point forward in time to, unfortunately, in Callan, which is the wet job, to go, this matters. But everything in Callan always sets up something else. That's one of the great joys of this show, one of the wonders about the writing. It's just one of the things that makes it so entertaining to watch and so enjoyable, because the writers did so much work making all those little circles and stories. The best stories all make circles back into them, right?
Yep.
You go forward from the starting point, but you have to circle back to things in the past to bring them forward. So you show character development, how they grow, how they develop, how the plot develops, and so on. So it's just, I can't name it without going into giving away spoilers, so I'm not going to. But it's, when we finally talk about the wet job, we'll be able to finally talk about everything.
Okay, all right. Good. I look forward to seeing how you manage to fit the wet job in with everything else.
Oh, yes.
So if you can do it, I'll be impressed. Seriously, I will.
That right there, that remark between Lonely and Callan, I guess it makes us even. That's one of the biggest points in there.
All right. Well, that's. That was the last in the regular Callan series. We've got one more next week. That'll be the wet job, which, as you can tell, I'm so looking forward to. And then after that, it's either going to be the first episode of Children of the Stones, possibly Space 1999, just to wind Brian up, or or it'll be the Quatermass Experiment. So,
yay! Yeah. We'll figure it out. Yeah.
We'll figure it out as we go along. Oh dear, what are you doing this week, Bri?
Nothing.
Oh, you're not getting a chance to play Diablo then?
Oh no, I'm playing Diablo. It's just I'm not doing anything in particular.
Oh, sweetheart. We need to wish Jess a happy. We've already wished Jess a happy.
Another happy birthday.
Yeah, have another happy birthday, Jess.
Have another one. Yeah,
happy
that's right. You.
That's still day. Wait a minute, I already gave you a happy birthday, so there you go. Yep.
I feel like we've done our job, to be honest. I feel like we've done it properly.
We've done our job.
Yeah, thorough.
Thorough.
That's what it was.
Hey, I got the cheesecake, so
my
job here is done.
Right back.
Spanky apparently has something else. What am I doing this week as Spanky's away? Got a nurse visit. Oh, shit, I've got to go and see the nurse at 10 o'clock in the morning. Oh, God. That's not natural. And I think that's it. I know I've got my... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, my car goes in for a service next week, not this week.
Sorry, somebody wanted their close-up.
Ichiban, it's a doggy.
Ichiban, ain't good. Say hello to your door in public.
Puppy. He never shows much to me, does he? He just, look, it's a dog. Right, I'm taking the camera away.
No, I think
Thank you very much. I'd
I'd
rather look at the dog, I'll be honest. It's.
I got my chow.
What are you doing this week, Spanks?
Oh God, something I'm sure, but I know what. Oh, I I halted the construction stuff on the piece of land I have. I decided I'm going to sell the land,
Right.
and buy a piece a little further west, out in Greenville, because I'd rather live out there because the I'm just kind of in a black hole where VA medical care is, and I don't want to be stuck here living in a house I own when I could do it, 100 miles west of here and get so much better care and everything else. So.
Well, it's not just that. I'm thinking to myself, 100 miles west, is the land price going to be better because you've done construction
Oh, it'll be
work,
much, much better, yeah.
and you don't want to lose money.
Much, much better, yeah.
Well, I wish you the best of luck.
Well, we'll see how it turns out. If I could pull it off, I'll get like a duplex and just rent the other half out or something. That would be
Granny
ideal,
flat.
but, otherwise.
I could move over and it could be a granny flat for me.
Sure. Absolutely. Bring it, baby.
Me, the dog, the cats. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, it'd be glorious. It'll be lovely.
There is a sitcom here. There's got to be a sitcom
There
here.
Oh,
is
yes.
a horror story waiting. To
End of the first episode, the whole place is burnt down, and both of them standing there completely bewildered as to how it happened.
American Horror Story episode or season whatever.
Oh dear, I'm sure there was more to do.
I got a fucking soot-covered wolf with a cat on top of his head going, that wasn't me, that was you, right? Yeah.
All right,
I'm not going to say nothing. You take the blame.
we were going to go to Allbourne on the next Saturday, but they sold out of tickets, the bastards. So my apologies, but I thought it best to tell you as soon as I could on both sides
That's
of it. But we do have the RPG next Saturday. That's going to be 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern. That's on the Twitch channel Thaco Gaming. Also the YouTube channel of the same name. And so there's that. Looking forward to that. It always puts a smile on my face, if I'm honest with you. Next week, the Dalek invasion of Earth. We are the bastards of Earth. Pay attention to that one, it's there. What else? The War Master, episode 2 of Koltrak, and The Wet Job.
Wet Job.
Yep.
I sacrificed so much for this show. Actually, it was the anniversary of the very first Flashing Blade itself being released a couple of days ago. Couldn't tell you how many years ago it was. 16 years, maybe? Something like that. So, I've been doing this too long. I don't know how to stop. Right then, that's. I think that's. Has anybody got anything else to say or want to point out or?
No.
No. Well, okay. In that case, we shall. We'll go away, shall we? Shall we go?
What was the Doctor Who we're going to do next week? Sorry.
The Dalek Invasion of Earth, not the film. Though, Brian, that's your choice. But don't tell us. Let's see if we can work out from what you say. If we can.
The minute I start talking about that police officer,
Tom Campbell, Bernard Cribbins, man, it's the Cribster.
I'm just saying, what
It's better than Ian Chesterton in the previous film.
All right.
Right, we're going to go away. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What was the other thing?
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
There were some photos recently released of John Levine acting a bit strange at a convention. Space! There we go.